today. From Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans taking on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks.
Just off the east bank of the Cumberland River and across the water from the Tennessee State Capitol building, there's a look at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've handled all covers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. A 4-touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy. And that's what they're doing early in this game. Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And I'll tell you what a bird's eye view I've got here because that was absolutely something else to watch. Not a lot of wiggle in that. That was catch it and go, and he used those wheels of his to absolute devastating effect.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
First down, Seahawks.
We're scoreless after 1.
With no score.
Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10 as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Will Dissly, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And now he's going to use his legs. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And what a way to cap off the opening touchdown drive. You go for 2 and you get it.
Remember when the PAT or the extra point was a gimme, right? Not plus 99%. It's not that way anymore, so more people are willing to take a chance, go for 2, and take the kicker a little bit out of the game.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here comes the Tennessee offense, and you see Ryan Tannehill leading them out.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
They run on 1st down with Henry, but the hole evaporates quickly as he'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Throwing on 2nd down, Tannehill. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. He'll look downfield for Humphreys. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes Chris Carson in the Seattle offense. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Daquan Jones in on the tackle there. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And it's 15-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
On first down, it's Tannehill. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The kickoff for Seattle.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line.
Their own 25-yard line.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Over the middle to Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on 2nd down. Tannehill. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And 2.
Tannehill throwing again. And that's caught by Smith. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Throwing again is Tannehill. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Zerline's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first,
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder, puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Now it's Lockett. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 yards there, 1st down.
1st down, Seattle.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From midfield now, here's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Complete to Tyler Lockett.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field, but if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Let's go, baby.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They run again with Carson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that will bump the lead up to 26.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Humphries. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Pass caught left side by Humphries. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
The kickoff for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Humphries. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
On the return, the Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for